responsible for themselves?
Yeah, I think people need to be responsible for themselves, but I also think the society should put up bulwarks to encourage people not to self-destruct. For instance, almost all homeless people are drug addicts or alcoholics. So if we didn't have rampant drug use or abuse of alcohol, we would have almost no homeless people. So if someone goes out and says, oh, I'm just doing what I want with my own body, but they fry their brain on drugs, then society is afflicted by having to deal with someone who's become incapable of looking out for themselves.
Well, you want to know something? I actually believe that we should tax. I'm not a big proponent of income tax, but I am a proponent of, what do they call, not sales tax.
Consumption tax.
Is it consumption tax where they tax alcohol and cigarettes and whatnot?
Sin tax.
Sin tax. I actually am okay with that. Taxing the goods, right? I say that they should tax the illegal whatever drug it is and use some of that money, earmark it. Don't let the politicians get their hands into that money because they'll use it for other things. We know how that happens here in California. But earmark it airtight so that it must go to rehabs for those drug users. I'm in favor of that. I like that idea. You take the money from the people who are spending it on the drugs and you turn around and you spend it on fixing them and getting them off the drugs. I like that idea.
Okay.
Call me Pisher. I like that idea. Okay, go ahead.
I want to talk about me.
Oh, yes, of course. First of all, I want to give a shout out to all the people in the what do you call it?
Chat room.
Chat room. Hey, Bev DeChamp 36, big Ravs fan, we like you. D Medic, hey boss, good to see you in there. Brandon's in there. Hey, Brandon, we love you too. Isaiah, woo, say Shehechayanu, the guy's in the chat room for once. And of course, Henry, he's like a pillar in there. All right, thanks for coming out, folks. We have a big show for you tonight. Go ahead.
You know why you had to ask me what is that thing called? It's because of all the drugs you did.
Okay, all right. But you know why you need the glasses and you're going blind? All right, touche. All right, even D-Medic laughed on that one. Garrett, oh yeah, Brandon liked that one too.
So I woke up Thursday morning,
Okay.
I took about 3 steps and felt like my lower back just dropped. It's like, oh.
Really?
Like my back just went out. This hasn't happened to me in 2.5 years.
Oh wow.
So since I've been studying Alexander technique, I've had much less trouble with my back. My back used to go out on me a couple of times a year. And when it go out, I basically have to lie down the whole day, go see a chiropractor, and so it was expensive and severely cut into my productivity.
Okay.
There was one relief for it. I remember this one time I had a bad back and I still stumbled out on a date with my girlfriend. Then we came home afterwards and she said, we probably shouldn't do anything because you got a bad back. But my love for her...
Here we go. He said he wanted to talk about himself, but it didn't take more than 20 seconds to find out what he's doing. He's going to tell us a sex story. Go.
So, my love and affection and desire to be close with her, my lower back, was so strong that I said, no, dear, you just clamber on top of me. And I found the gentle way she rode me, it kind of helped warm and loosen up my lower back so that it felt much better afterwards. But as I'm not in a relationship now, as I'm constrained by God's eternal and immutable and universal moral law, I didn't have that opportunity, so my back problem's still with me. But yeah, it was humiliating. Here I am, an Alexander technique teacher, so I immediately thought, what am I doing? And my physical therapist about 2 years ago gave me this exercise where I tied this belt around my ankles, and then I try to push out to strengthen my legs, and then I tie it around my knees and try to push out. And I think I overdid that, or I did it poorly, so that I was compressing my lower back, and then it just gave out on me. So that was discouraging enough. So I had some painkillers left over from my surgery about 9 months ago, and so I woke up at about 4 a.m. Friday morning and took a couple of them, and that seemed to help. But then when I got up, I was really nauseous. I'm not sure if I was supposed to eat food with the painkillers, or if it was I didn't sufficiently wash the tangerines the night before, but I ended up just like vomiting much of Friday, which whenever I start a vomiting fit, I can't keep anything down, so I get really dehydrated, which is, you know, fairly dangerous for you.
Okay.
So I'm like vomiting through Friday, can't keep anything down, getting increasingly dehydrated. Like Shabbat comes, like I feel like I'm dying. You know, I'm just so dehydrated. You know, can't keep down a mouthful of water. Like I want to like, you know, like crawl over to the people next door and say, you know, help me. You know, I just always feel like I'm dying whenever I get, you know, any kind of stomach nausea where I can't keep anything down.
How do you know what this was?
I don't.
Okay, so what do you think it was?
I think it was either a reaction to the painkiller because I didn't take it with food, or I think it was food poisoning because I didn't sufficiently wash the tangerines. Like I remember I was eating a couple of tangerines that were like starting to go bad. And so like I think I avoided those parts, but maybe I still got some of the...
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah.
I'll interject, then you just keep going with your story. Let me explain you something, my son. People who are vegetarians don't get food poisoning. Food poisoning comes... Men get food poisoning from eating meat. Meat has food poisoning, okay? Things that have been animals, things that come from animals, like maybe eggs, but more likely meat and fish and chicken, that's where your food poisoning comes from. You're a vegetarian. No one ever got food poisoning from almonds and bananas and applesauce.
Thank you for that empathy. Swear I didn't call you.
I just want to clarify. That's why I asked you, where did you get that from? Because if you're going to tell me, well, I may have had a stomach flu, or maybe it was a reaction to the pills, okay, I understand that. But don't give me the food poisoning. Let's rule that out. Go ahead.
So whenever I have a severe illness or I get really sick, it's primarily a time of personal and moral reevaluation for me. I always see with like the most painful and startling clarity all the ways that I've deviated from her, like all the ways that I've been a bad person. Like that just like hangs on me whenever I feel like I'm dying.
Okay.
Like whenever I'm really sick. So, you know, this time I resolved, okay, the people I respect in my life, I want to listen to them twice as deeply. I want to like reduce my defenses to what they have to say, because I kind of, you know, when I was sick, I kind of looked at all the main criticisms that my disinterested critics have said. Like some of my critics, you know, just...
You have critics.
Nutcases. But many of the people who criticize these things I've done, they're like fully sane, you know, very responsible, upright, you know, godly and thoughtful people. And so when I get sick, I think, oh man, they are so right. They are so right. I've got to like, you know, I've really got to change the moral direction of my life. And I kind of like, I see that I've like thrown away my life like seeking self-aggrandizement. Like I'll do something on Facebook or on my blog and I think, oh, I'm so edgy and amusing, and you know, I'm so funny, or my insights are so witty, or you know, so brave to write that. But then when I get sick, I think, man, that was just like narcissism. That was just self-aggrandizement. I'm just like throwing away my life on delusions. Like here I am, I'm 45, I feel like I'm dying. I'm all alone in a hovel, you know, which I'm going to lose in the next 30 days. You know, headed for financial oblivion. It's like, okay, maybe I need to start doing some things differently. So I don't know, what do you have any certain repetitive thoughts when you get really sick?
I can I can empathize, relate. I don't know what the word is.
You don't know the word empathy.
No, that's not in my vocabulary. Being single sucks. Okay. Anyone who tells you that being single is a good thing, they're really happy being single, is either lying to themselves, lying to you, or both. Being single sucks. And you know where it really shows its ugly face? When you get sick. Because when you get sick and you're like really bedridden, you know, it's like you don't want to get out of bed or nothing, and there's nobody around to help you, you're fucked. You're really fucked. Because you got to go to the doctors to get any help, but you're too weak to even move. Okay? So like someone's going to have to come and pick you up and put you in the car to get... Who? Nobody likes you. You've written all these terrible things on your blog about everybody. You made videos making fun of everybody. You know, your